everyone. Welcome into the Sports Stove Draft Show and the Sports Stove Football Podcast. Listen, we are excited. We've been going through these position needs, and we're through the Christmas week and all of those kinds of things as well. The last episode, we talked receivers. Before that, running backs. Before that, quarterbacks. Which teams will need them? Which teams will target them early in the draft? And that brings us now to the tight end position. Today's tight end position needs podcast episode is presented by Righteous Felon Jerky. Join the flavor revolution at righteousfelon.com. Use the promo code STOVE15 to get you a discount. Your New Year's resolution should be to eat more jerky, and you should get your jerky at righteousfelon.com. All right, today we're talking about tight end needs and to run down the draft prospects that we're really considering at the higher end of the draft. Kenyon Sadiq, more than likely, the only first-round tight end in this draft. Eli Stowers from Vanderbilt, Max Clare from Ohio State, and Jack Indries from Texas are the players I think to watch rise or drop down draft boards here in this offseason process. And we've got to figure out if all these guys are coming out. Most of these guys are. I have to. But there are other guys to watch later in the draft. Michael Trigg from Baylor. I like Joe Royer from Cincinnati. Oscar Delp from Georgia. There are options out there later in the draft, but we're talking about the team needs high in the draft. And if you start before you get to there, you have to look at the free agent market. Guys like Travis Kelce, David Njoku, Dallas Goedert. Both of Njoku and Goddard could have their contracts voided, possibly. It sounds like Njoku's going to stick around in Cleveland, even though they've got Harold Fannin. We'll see how that works out. Kyle Pitts, Zach Ertz, Austin Hooper, Adam Troutman, Tyler Conklin, Noah Fant, Darren Waller. There are options in the free agent market. But let's talk about some team needs. Kansas City, I want to start there. Travis Kelce, it looks like his career's over. Everything that he looks like in this season has looked like everything has just dropped for him completely. Could he come back next year? Yes. Will he come back next year? I would say no, but we will see. Either way, Kansas City's an intriguing team to look at that tight end for the future. Do they like a Kenyon Sadiq? Is he there when they pick? All those kinds of questions. Eli Stowers, Max Clare in the second round. Jack Indries maybe in the third round or second round. I don't know. We'll see how he grades out on things. Kansas City's a really intriguing team for me, though, for the tight end market. Obviously, it's been a major part of their offense for many, many years. Philadelphia is the other team right behind them. You know, Dallas Goedert, I thought he was going to be gone this offseason. They ended up keeping him around. I thought there were going to be guys like Mark Andrews maybe that would be available, but he just recently signed a contract extension. So do the Eagles look in the free agent market? Do they kind of try to keep a veteran there? They really need some leadership in that locker room, I think, but I don't know that any of these guys are the options. So Philadelphia is a team to watch there, but they're later in the first round. I'm not sure that there's going to be the right fit for them in the first round as far as tight ends go. But definitely second round could be an option for them. Atlanta, they don't have a first round pick. If they do not resign Kyle Pitts, they're going to be in desperate need of a tight end. So watch for that one. Washington Commanders, listen, Zach Ertz has been good for them. They need to get younger at that position. Maybe they resign Ertz to keep him around. But I love them looking at where they're picking. Kenyon Sadiq could fit. They might be a little high for him. In my opinion, they're definitely too high for them, but it's not just about my opinion. It's what we think teams will do. So I think that's an option for Washington. Maybe they trade back. We'll see where that lands. Second round, though, an Eli Stowers would be a great fit for them out of Vanderbilt, and I would like that fit a lot for for Washington. Then let's talk about Miami. They go out and get Darren Waller during the season. It's worked out really well for them. Do they re-sign him? So much is going to play into, do they hire a new coach or keep their current coach? What are they going to do at quarterback? Like, there are so many things for Miami's offseason, and we'll have a whole episode on the offseason needs for teams once we get through the season and all that kind of stuff. Miami's got so many needs. But, again, tight end could fall in the right spot for them in round 1 or in round 2. I like Jack Indries from Texas. does a good fit down there for what they're doing in Miami currently. But let's see what they do with the head coach situation as well. Cincinnati, listen, Noah Fant's there. I don't know they're going to re-sign him. Can Cincinnati afford to draft offense in the first round? I mean, I would argue no. I think Jeremiah Love is the one guy I absolutely would love for Cincinnati to get in round one, but they have to fix their defense. But they need a tight end, especially if they don't re-sign Noah Fant. They've got people, but they could get way, way better. So Max Clare, who spent this year at Ohio State, would be an interesting fit in Cincinnati, but maybe you look later in the draft for them. Michael Trigg, it would be an option. Oscar Delp could be an option. I think they need a tight end, but again, there's so many needs. I don't know. Denver is one. I would be shocked if Denver doesn't take a tight end in one of the first 2 rounds. I could see them moving up to get Kenyon Sadiq. I could see them sticking and picking in the first round because of where they're currently, looking at higher 20s. So 26, 27, 28. Maybe they even sneak into the 30s if they continue what they've looked like this season. I think they're going to falter in the playoffs, but whole nother story, a whole nother episode. So look for Denver. I think, again, they could go more of the free agent market, but I just don't know there's the right fit. Kyle Pitts would be the one guy I'd look at maybe in Denver, but outside of that, I could see them going tight end in round 1 or 2. And then the Tampa Bay Bucks are the last team that I think needs a tight end early. Again, when you look at what they have, they're aging at wide receiver, but they also have some really young wide receivers there too. The offensive line it can always get better. Baker's going to be the quarterback, so let's make sure we have Baker taken care of. I love Tampa to go out and snag a tight end. If Kenyon Sadiq falls to them in round 1 or gets close to them where they could make a move up, that's one thing. If they don't make the playoffs, if Carolina beats them out in the division, I like Tampa to make a move for Kenyon Sadiq. If they do make the playoffs, then I think they're a round 2 team, that Eli Stowers or Jack Injuries kind of people. Maybe even a Michael Trigg makes a move. I've got him as tight end 5 right now, but he could move up. He's got great size, great stats, all that good stuff too. So my tight end teams to watch for early in the draft is Kansas City, Philadelphia, Atlanta, Washington, Miami, Cincinnati, Denver, and Tampa. And I think Denver's the team to watch to make a move to go get the guy that they want there at tight end. There are other teams that could use tight ends, of course. There are other teams that will draft tight ends, of course. We'll talk about all these teams and their needs. We'll talk about these tight ends and rank them once we get through and everyone is declared for the draft. I will go through our rankings again there. But there are teams, and tight end has become such an important piece in the NFL. Teams got to make sure they have the right one in place. Maybe a sneaky team, New York Giants. I like Johnson. I think he's playing well. I think he fits well with Jackson Dart. They're not going to take him in the first round. So, second round, third round, definitely an option there for the Giants. But I'd rather see them go other directions personally. I'd rather see them get another receiver in round 1 and a running back in round 2. But that's just my opinion on the New York Football Giants. So Denver's my team to really watch for when it comes to tight end. Kansas City, if Kelsey retires, which he should, they're another team. And Philadelphia. Those would be my top 3 teams. They're looking for tight ends early in the 2026 NFL draft. All right, follow us on social media at Sports Stove. It's Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, the Sports Stove Media YouTube channel. Follow or subscribe to the audio podcast, the Sports Stove Football Podcast. And make sure you get yourself a snack, all right? RighteousFelon.com. Promo code is STOVE15, STOVE15, to get you a discount there at checkout for your very own beef jerky. All right, that's it for the tight ends. We've talked about most of the offense. We still got to get to the O-line, so we'll get to that as well. But until next time, have yourself a wonderful day.